Here's what I keep seeing recommended on my YouTube for a 3-fund portfolio: a large cap growth fund, a large cap value fund, and a fund that tracks the overall S&P 500. It looks like 3 bets. It looks like diversification, but actually it's one concentrated bet. 3 tickers, and when you blend them, you've basically just rebuilt the S&P 500. You did extra work to own the thing you already own. And today, I'm gonna build a 3-fund portfolio that actually I'd run. 3 funds that win in 3 different worlds. And the piece almost everyone gets wrong is the third one, the diversifier. And I'll show you what I'd use instead. For anyone that's new here, I'm Mark Anderson, construction worker turned hedge fund manager. I've sold over $100 million in 0DT premium, and inside MBH Capital Management, we run a 0DT and multi-strategy fund. I make these videos so investors can see how markets actually work and can adjust their portfolios accordingly. Let's build. Let's start with why the popular 3-fund version doesn't work: growth, value, and an S&P 500 fund. People feel diversified, but growth plus value plus the index is just the index sliced into 3 tapered back together. Back tested over a decade, and it lands right on the S&P 500, sometimes a hair behind, because you've added fees and overlap to recreate something you could have bought in one fund. And it's all one thing: US large cap stocks, no international. So in genuine stagflation like the 70s, where prices run and growth stalls, that kind of environment that we could be seeing today, this portfolio has nowhere to hide. If you just want the S&P 500, buy the S&P 500. But I'd argue there's a better way for today's investors. Now, there's a 3-fund portfolio worth respecting: the classic 60% US stocks, 20% international stocks, and 20% bonds. That's one defensible allocation for today's market environment. My problem is the third leg, bonds. I made a whole video on this, which I'll link in the description below. Bonds only hedge deflationary environments. When growth stalls and prices fall, the Fed cuts rate and bonds rise. That's the whole world bonds are built for. But in an inflationary year, stocks and bonds fall together. You saw it in 2022. Your safe leg sank right alongside your risky one. So the honest 3-fund portfolio is still one regime away from a bad surprise. The fix isn't more bonds. It's 3 legs that each do a different job, and a third leg that rises to the occasion when bonds don't. Let me build it one fund at a time, and I'll show you the data on each one as we go. Leg 1 is domestic large cap momentum. A fund like SPMO, momentum is simple. It just owns the strongest stocks in the index and lets the winners run. It's one of the most studied factors in finance. So let me show you how easy it can be. SPMO versus SPY. 2016 to present, SPMO has done 19% with a higher risk-adjusted return, and it's higher than the plain index. That's your offense in a bull run. When the market is trending, momentum rides the winners harder than the plain index. Keep that line in your head though, when the market is trending, because the next leg is built for when it isn't. Leg 2 is international small cap value, something like AVDV. This is a counter puncher. When the US trend reverses, momentum stalls. It takes a while to find a new leader. That's exactly when cheap, overlooked small international names tend to lead. And the value effect is strongest down in small caps. So leg 2 zigs when leg 1 zags, and you stop betting everything on America. Now I want to be straight with you, because this is the leg people quit on. AVDV versus SPY. AVDV does have larger max drawdowns, and during crashes, it looks no different than the S&P. But if you look at this on its own, you might say, why would I ever own this? Bigger drawdowns doesn't beat the S&P every year, but stretch it out over 5 to 10 years, and there are stretches where it significantly outruns the index. This is a longer term holding, not this quarter holding. When value draws down, it's like a coiled spring waiting to come back. In the short term, small cap value won't look any different on a down day or in a crash. Over 5 or 10 years, there's years when it significantly does better. You're not holding it for next quarter, you're holding it for the next decade. Quick break before the third leg, which is one everyone can't miss. Inside our fund, MBH Capital Management, this is literally our job. Combine simple building blocks like trend, value, and diversifiers in a portfolio that doesn't blow up when the regime changes. If you're an accredited investor, there's a link in the description to book a call for our multi-strategy or 0DT fund. There's also a link to subscribe to our newsletter, which keeps up with performance and attribution. All right, let's talk about what replaces bonds. Leg 3 is an important one. Instead of bonds, managed futures in a fund like DVMF, this is the actual diversifier that diversifies. And I'll say it plainly, I trade trend for a living. Bonds can only follow rates down. Managed future follows trends across stocks, bonds, commodities, and currencies up or down. So when inflation is the story, managed futures can go long or short the very thing that wrecked your 60/40. They don't need deflation to work. Let me show you how it worked in a real case. DBMF versus SPY. I wanted to highlight 2022 specifically. Look at 2022. DBMF did 21% the same year the S&P was down 18%. And it's been positive in plenty of other years too. The correlation to stocks is roughly negative. That's the whole point. It zigs when everything else zags. Now the cost, because there is one. Managed futures go through long, boring, and flat stretches. In calm, grinding bull markets, this leg can sit there and annoy you for years. You don't hold it for the quiet years. You hold it for the ones that blow up everything else. Same reason you keep insurance you hope you never have to use. Now combine all of them. So here's the power move. Each of these worked on its own. Momentum, international small cap value, and managed futures. Each one wins in a different world, and they zig and zag at different times. Now watch what happens when you stop holding them separately and put a third in each allocation. With an equal weight to SPMO, ABDV, and DBMF versus the S&P 500, 2020 to present, a third in each since 2020 against the S&P, better performance with 40% less drawdowns and about 40% better risk-adjusted returns. Each piece is simple. Together, it's just better for you. You can go home and build this today. That's the whole point. 3 simple funds you can actually buy, not 3 slices of the same bet. 3 different engines that smooth each other out. So there's a 3-fund portfolio I'd actually build, not 3 slices of US large cap pretending to be diversified. Momentum to ride the trend, international small cap value to catch the reversal, and managed futures instead of bonds, a diversifier that can win in every regime that sinks the 60/40. Each one is simple on its own, a third in each, and you get better performance with a fraction of the drawdown. Same 3-fund simplicity that everyone wants, both to survive a world where the S&P doesn't do 10% every year. The portfolio we actually have is diversified. Those are 2 decisions that matter, and most people get the second one wrong. Inside our multi-strategy fund, this is the whole idea we've taken further. We run managed futures and trend alongside our other strategies precisely so we're not leaning onto bonds for one regime when they can't help. If you're an accredited investor, there's a link in the description below to book a call with us, or you can subscribe to our newsletter for attribution. I'll see you guys in the next one.